don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Ta-da! Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Big Show, episode 421. This is the 421st episode of the Political Spotlight, and I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. I am here alone tonight as producer Kate is tucked safely into her bed. She has made it home. Thank God the airplane didn't fall out of the sky like they have been doing here lately. So Kate made it home from the West Coast. She's been there for the last couple of weeks. She's been assisting us. It's been easier for her because when we go live each night for the last 2 weeks, we've been going live at 9 o'clock our time, 6 o'clock her time. And so things have been a little bit, it's like we get done with the show at midnight and she's like, man, it's only 11 o'clock. She's like, it's only 9 o'clock here. This is great. But she's back at home. She will return to the controls tomorrow. My grandparents are like, is she coming back? I'm like, she's been here the whole time. But they go to bed before they see her pop on normally. She normally pops on later in the show or whatever. But producer Kate's been here since she's been gone. You know, she can do this. You can do this show from anywhere. That's the beauty of it. But she's dealing with the flight and doing all that stuff. She took off, I think, from Washington at midnight their time. So that's just about 3 o'clock in the morning our time. And she landed in Indy at 11 a.m. our time after traveling for about 8.5 hours with a layover in Houston. So we're going to be doing the show all by our lonesome tonight. That's why I haven't changed the thing at the bottom. Let me see. I got to get in there and do this. Oh, pop. There it is. It's changed. And if you would, please give us a like. Hit the thumb, do the thing, subscribe to the show if you haven't, hit the bell so you know when we're live. Of course, that's 5 nights a week, Sunday through Thursday, sometimes more, sometimes less. Sorry we weren't here last night. I'll be honest, we had just done a hectic run. We'd done all last week, and then we'd done Friday and Saturday, no break, and then we did an amazing show Sunday, and I just thought last night, Kate's getting ready to travel, and I've got things we could talk about, but we could also take a night off. So we did, but we're here tonight. We got a lot to talk to you about. Show us some love. If you're interested in donating to the show, you can do that. You don't have to. Subscriptions are free, obviously. You all know how YouTube works. If you're here and live and commenting live, which live is coming to you from the studio on this amazing April 1st, April Fool's Day, Tuesday, April 1st, 2025, then you can comment over here. If you're watching via replay into the future, comment down below. We will get back to you one way or another. And above all else, share the show with everyone you know. Hey, help spread the word to join us in the social media netherworlds. You can find us there, our Rumble, our 2 Facebook accounts, our X account. There's our studio line, our email, and every which way that you need to follow us. So find us there. Everything's open, and you can learn a little bit about what we're going to be talking about throughout the show if you're looking at our social medias in the daytime. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get over here to the chats and see who's here. It looks like Les is here. Good evening. Tweety Bird is here, as always. I hear there are some missing trees. Yes, ma'am, there are. I got your tweets. I got your text messages. I love those text messages. Keep them coming. I love them. So that's fantastic. Alva's here. Good evening, everyone. Stumblefoot always. And Catherine Callahan is here, causing trouble as always. Asking people to hit the like button. Thank you. We'll go in reverse. It could be worse. Kate could still be on the bus. Hey, listen to me. So I hate flying. Absolutely beyond. Oh shit, I just dumped water on me. Oh man, that's so stupid. I knew I was going to do that. I saw it happen in slow motion. I absolutely hate flying more than anything. I hate flying. I hate flying. And when I was about 19 years old, hello there, Tim Nickham. Yeah, we're going to be talking about some interesting stuff that you should all be interested in tonight. Hello there, Sarge. Welcome. So here's the deal. When I was about 19 years old, my family and I were going to take a trip to Fort Myers Beach, Florida. That's the place where we went. Always went and had places to go and stuff down there. And I didn't want to fly, and we were going to go down there for like a week and a half or whatever, and I just did not want to fly. I was bitching about it and carrying on. My friend was going to go, and so we got this crazy idea that we would take the Greyhound down there. Now, we went to Florida every which way. My family's got in the car and drove straight through. We drove and we got a hotel and then picked up the next day and drove. But, with my mother and stepfather, both, they're like, we can drive straight through. And for those of you that don't know, Florida is on the Gulf of America side. And it's quite a ways down. If you get in the car in Muncie, Indiana, and you drive straight through, it's about an 18 to 19 hour trip. Okay. So in a car, you're talking 18, 19 hours driving. In the old airplane, you're talking an hour and 45 minutes. Well, in the Greyhound, you're talking 38 hours. And I'm like, that's nothing. We can do it. We can do that standing on our head. And me and my buddy, we were 19 years old. We got on the Greyhound in Anderson. And I knew that we screwed up. When it took us like 2 hours to get to Indianapolis from Anderson. I thought, uh-oh. And it was one of the most hellacious trips of all time. We left, like my family, we're going to fly on Friday, like at noon, and be down there by 2. and we left like on Wednesday, and it's was still I have PTSD from it. So yeah, you're right, Kate. It could be worse for Kate. She could still be on a bus somewhere. So yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, we've got some things to talk about tonight. We're going to be kind of all over the board a little bit here. We're going to be talking about some local politics out of Muncie and Delaware County. And then we're going to be talking about some state politics as well. We're going to be talking about this situation with the trees in Muncie. We have this crazy situation with the trees in downtown Muncie. It's honestly it's mind-boggling what's going on. So we're going to be talking about that. Then we're going to be talking about the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, which honestly is something that needs to be dissolved. The players that are there need to be looked at heavily. I don't understand why everybody that gets involved with economic development stuff for politics, for government, always becomes super creepy, super weird, super sketchy. It's so strange to me. And so we're going to be talking about the statewide economic development corporation. And then we're going to talk about Dustin Clark's grants. I have a list for you. We received a record request. Finally, the request has been fulfilled. Kinda. We'll talk about that in a moment. So we're going to be talking about Dustin Clark's grants, and then we're going to end off with a little bit of Ed Carroll. Nothing major. This is not the big show. That's still coming, but just kind of a little bit of talk there. So that's what we're going to be doing, and we're going to go ahead and start off here with the tree situation in Muncie, and it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me because Dan has this program that he has been running since maybe 6 months after he took office, and it's called like 1,000 trees. I don't know like in what kind of time frame, like 1,000 trees, but apparently they're running around the city and they're trying to plant trees. Okay. And that sounds like a good thought, right? Like, okay, they're going to be planting trees. This sounds good. Well, everybody knows that the City of Muncie and the YMCA and the Muncie City School Corporation and I guess Ball State University, maybe because they're in charge of the school. It's real weird because there's not a school board there, all that thing. That needs to change eventually. I guess that's for another day. They did the whole weird thing where they put the Y right there, like basically on top of the school. Just a horrible, horrible deal. The building looks amazing. The new Y looks great. The new Y looks absolutely amazing. Great, wonderful deal with all that. That being said, though, however, it just, to anyone that's normal, it doesn't look right. And did you know that inside the new Y, they have co-ed locker rooms? I've heard a lot of people complaining about this. I heard about it first from a viewer, and then after that, I started hearing from other folks. They have like these locker rooms where both men and women enter, and then they have these like quartered off places that there's like some privacy, but still the whole idea of having co-ed locker rooms are really wild. Yeah, the showers and bathrooms are individual though. Okay, do you know that for a fact, Brand? I don't know. I guess I need to go in there and take a look. I don't know. It's a really weird situation. And I guess, it's kind of strange because the whole idea of this was that the school was going to be using it as well. Okay. Another design issue is the tall windows and the black flooring, which will get hot as hell in the summer. So that's something, it's not, that's okay. That's interesting. Okay. That's some good stuff. I hate to hear that, Cindy. That's some good stuff there, Brandon. That's what I was told by two people who go there. Okay. So we are hearing this. I mean, this does seem right. It's kind of a strange situation. I don't know what they're going to do with the schools, the children that are going to be going in there. Just seems like it seems like you're in a situation that you're just putting yourselves in a situation that you probably don't want to be. So I don't know. That's kind of strange. I'm going to have to go in there. I don't know. I've not been in there. I didn't go there during the ribbon cutting. I honestly didn't care about it that much. I think it's stupid they put it there. I thought it was, it's like, I just don't understand. They're like, let's put it in the most stupid place possible. Let's put it on top of Tui Pool in the Tui Park area. And we're like, no. And they're like, okay, well, the next most stupid place possible. And everybody's like, well, it's not Tui, so okay, we just won't say anything. But I thought that the placement of this has been dumb from the very beginning, considering all of the other places that it could have went. So that's wonky. I don't understand. I guess I just don't understand. I don't know. So, anywho, they put this new building up, and I saw a post last week from the City of Muncie that said that they were going to start working on, the building was up, everything was done, Everything was wonderful. Okay. And they said that they were going to start working on the parking lot. Muncie Central swim and dive teams will be using the YM pools. So yeah, that does seem like that could be a situation where they're going to be kind of in a precarious situation there. So, yeah, okay. It was, let me go to the City of Muncie's communications page. I forgot that we can't comment on the actual page. So the City of Muncie communications page posted back on the 21st of March, the following post. I'll put this up here so you guys can see this. Well, the mayor said he was happy about the location because it was now only a few blocks from his home, so he could walk to the facility, or a few blocks from the office, so he could walk there to swim during his lunch. And you are right. He did mention that. So as long as it is accommodating for the mayor to be able to do whatever the mayor needs to do, that's all that really matters. You know, that's the number one thing there. And Tweety Bird said you would freeze in the old Y pool in the winter, so she welcomes some winter warmth. I get what you're saying there. I definitely get what you're saying there. Someone said the shitty part is I just got my property taxes and over $500 goes to the schools. The YMCA seems to be benefiting from my taxes. Yeah, we're going to be talking about those property taxes too. I forgot to mention that, but we will talk about that. We're going to be doing a more in-depth show here coming up, so we're not gonna hit it hard. But everybody's been going crazy about this as well. So I can't find. Apparently, it's not on. It wasn't under the city's page, but somewhere shared the fact that the central parking lot was going to be under renovation from March 24th through July 11th. And I'm going to try to find that because there were, let's see if they're under these comments. Let's see here. Where can we park once construction starts? And a lot of people were asking, like, hey, this just seems like insane. What a nightmare this will be. What's the high school's policy for parking after school hours? Why 4 months to do a parking lot? Maybe we should have waited to open. This will cause a lot of issues for people with hindered mobility. Walked in the Y and thought, wow, this is so not Muncie. A week later, this is announced. Okay, yep, it feels like Muncie again. Let's see here. Be sure to not mess with the memorial markers in grass area before you get to Walnut. Be honest, I don't even know what they're talking about. And so somewhere on here, right here. Yep. Right here it is. Let's take a look at this. It's the last comment on. Okay. So this person says, are they cutting down the trees for this updated lot? Let's show you a picture of what they have going on here. So here's a picture of what the construction was printed out to look like. Here you've got the Muncie Field House. And so basically we're looking south. The north is here where my cursor is, where this box is, the Muncie YMCA, and this is the parking lot, and the field house is here, and then Star Bank is up here, and City Hall is beyond it. Well, you can see here in this highlighted box, this is where they're going to be working on the parking at. And you can see in that highlighted box, they have the old trees that have been there. Really great, big, beautiful trees that I say those trees have to have been there for at least 100+ years. I mean, they've been there a very, very long time. And, I thought surely there's no way, because the parking lot as it was designed, as it is on the picture, you can see they designed the parking lot around those trees. They made the buffers and they put, it was really simple. They made the parking lot for Central and the field house, and they made it around the trees. It was, simple. No big deal. And they were able to keep the trees. There was just no question. It was easy to deal with. Well, let me show you here. Okay, here we go. Let me put this up so we can take a look at it here. Okay. So I want to take you back and show you these two pictures. And I got this from Lost Muncie on Facebook, a wonderful group for old pictures. And I can't really place when this is. If any of you in the comments can help place when this picture would be, that would be fantastic. So I'm going to share this right now. This is the field house, and now we're looking north. We're looking north towards the river, towards Minnetrista. Okay. So look here. What you see is the new Central School building back here in the far picture. You see the Muncie Field House. You see their old football stadium. And basically, I was born in the early 80s. So to my knowledge, this building was gone before I was around. And this grassy area here, all my life, has been a parking lot. But as you could see, these line of trees remained, and they built the parking lot around these trees. So when we say shortly after Central was built, give me a time frame. Give me a couple year period. When was Central first built? Let's take a look. '73. Okay. So the new building was built in '73. So Yeah, the new building was built in 73, and the current location was moved to with students joining the school year in 74. So, okay, you've got this picture here that we're looking at, and you've got the new central building. You've got whatever this building was. And then sometime after 74, at some point, I don't know when, they tore this building in the middle down and made a parking lot all throughout here. But when they did that, they figured out a way to do it. Oh, so that was the old McKinley. Okay, that's right. That's the old McKinley Middle School. All right. Now we're cooking. That makes sense. Absolutely, absolutely. So when they tore that down, at some point thereafter, they then made this a parking lot. Okay. And for that, we will go to Google Maps to show the people that maybe aren't familiar with Muncie what this area has looked like for the majority of my life. And we'll show how they managed to keep these trees. Okay. So what we're looking at in that picture, ladies and gentlemen, we are now looking at here. Here's the overview, the complete overview, bird's eye view. Here's the new central building that we were looking at in the north. Here's the Muncie Field House. And then here is, about right here, is where that building in the middle set. And this was all grass. See, it was all grass. Here's the football stadium. So yeah, we can take you back and kind of let you see. Here's what it looked like. And here's what it's looked like for most of my life. Now, we can see here that when they tore that building down and made this parking lot, they kept some of the grass. See, they've kept these islands out there, okay? They managed to be able to keep those islands. And now we can look at it from the street view. Here's what the islands look like. There were some trees, okay? Of course, these trees are all gone because the YMCA sits here now. All right, in this open area, here's where the YMCA sits now, next to Central School Building. But then look here. Here are the trees. And now look, this is kind of a shitty time because these were taken when it was apparently cold outside. Let me see if I can go back in time here and get a history view so we can see more dates. Okay, here we go. Here the trees are full. Here the trees are taken in July of 2019, and they are full and they're big. And you can tell these trees have been growing there for a very, very, very long time. Okay? These trees have been here for a long time. Oh, crap. I didn't want to do that. Here's August. Okay. Here they are. We're looking at them here. This is a good shot. Okay, here this is. Now, we're going to go and we're going to look at my pictures that I took today. So going back to that comment, going back before we jump to the pictures, here's what it is: YMCA parking alternate site logistic phase 1, YMCA parking to remain phase 1, main construction area A, construction entrance, trade partner entrance, trade partner parking, construction material layout. Okay, so that's what we've got going on. You've got the south side, you've got the trees here, and you've got all these trees. And look, these trees are marked in the path, but I thought, hey, they're going to keep them. These trees have always been here. There's no reason to tear these trees down. Okay, so let's go take a look at these comments again. The very last comment on the page said, "Are they cutting down the trees for this updated lot?" That was a week ago, to which I wrote, "That better not be happening. That better not be happening." And then 2 days ago, and I didn't see this. What a heartbreaking, absolutely ignorant ass. Who did this? I need to know. I need to know who did this. Is this Dan Ridenour? Is this Chad Zucka? Is this Ball State University? Who is responsible for this monstrosity? Absolutely, completely, and utterly ignorant. So I was driving by here today. This woman commented this from 2 days ago, and I just, in everything that was going on, honestly, I didn't see it. I didn't see them, and I'll be honest. I was up there. I was up there Saturday, around there Saturday for the protest thing, and I didn't even, I had the blinders on. I didn't even see these. Stumblefoot said it right here. Stumblefoot says, "I hated when they bricked the windows at the field house." Yeah, we're going to talk about that too, Tweety Bird. It's somebody that doesn't have memories of Muncie. Keep that in your mind, because that is very, very, very true. That is absolutely true. And it's insane to me that is the situation that we have going on here. That could be, that this could be allowed, that somebody would think that this makes sense. I mean, this is truly heartbreaking. So I'm going to go back here. Let's back out of here and go back to these comments here. Okay, so the YMCA is giving us some information here. YMCA of Muncie says, "Thank you for reaching out about your questions about the parking lot. The lot is owned by the Muncie Community Schools, and we are grateful for their partnership in allowing us to use the space. While we don't have specific details on landscaping plans, Muncie Community Schools may be able to provide additional information about the full scope of the project. We appreciate your interest in improvements and commitment to our shared community space. Please let us know if you have any other questions. And then a couple of other people have posted, and I'm telling you, it's really honestly, like I'm legitimately at a loss for words for here. I'm not a Bearcat. I didn't go to Muncie Central. I'm a Delta Eagle. Don't care anything about Central High School. Don't have any, fond memories of the school. Don't have any kind of thoughts in any way about it. But I am familiar, obviously, with the fact that those have been there forever, and I just it it blows me away to know that this is how people can act. Now, I'll be honest, until I talk to Ridenauer myself, okay, I won't believe that he didn't have something to do with this. Hey, no problem, David Hall. I enjoyed talking to you too. Man, listen, I just hate that we weren't able to talk weeks ago. I enjoyed talking to you. Let me do this here. Get this put in here. No. Okay. What's this? Get this posted so people here can get what's happening here. Okay. So the YMCA is saying that it's Muncie school system. So I guess I'm going to have to get a hold of the school system tomorrow and find out why in the hell they would tear these trees down. It's nuts to me. It's absolutely nuts to me that this is something that people would say was okay. And Stumblefoot said it up here, and this is exactly what I said. Stumblefoot said it's somebody that doesn't have memories of Muncie. And listen, this is one of my biggest complaints. This is one of my biggest complaints about Dan Ridenauer, is he's not from here. So he certainly doesn't give a shit about anything that makes up the history of Muncie. And we've caught him in this several times. It's with the whole deal with the Lafferty Field. The whole deal with, we'll just tear up Toohey Pool and put the Y down there. It's insane to me, for all of the concern that this man has for parks and all of the crap that he has done in the parks over paving roads and other things over the last 5 years he's been in office. And this happens. So the YMCA is saying that the school is responsible. So I will contact the school officials tomorrow, and I will get a rundown on what the deal is with these trees, and we'll find this out. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they can stick those 1,000 trees right up their asses. I don't care about those 1,000 trees. Quit cutting down our trees that we've had for 100+ years in Muncie. I was sitting there taking the pictures today that I took. The pictures that I took today of the field house and this area here today. And I was thinking I could very easily see them tearing down the field house. Like, people would lose their mind about that. Like, people would go crazy. People would literally go crazy. And they would, I think, I would hope they would run Dan out of town with pitchforks and fire. But I could see Dan in his mind doing that because the field house doesn't mean anything to Dan. John, that's a good question. I don't know. I would love to think that they wouldn't if they would happen. Is that something that, how do we go? I don't even know how to go about doing that. There's somebody that I know I could get a hold of that could help me with that. But if you know how to do that, if there's a link or something, I would gladly click on it and check. And Melissa says, when I pulled up at the Y this morning, I was just sick seeing this. Absolutely. It's heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. Of course, Newcastle, Indiana's field house, the largest in the world. Amazing field house there. I've only been in that building twice, David. And every time it's always been like, wow, this is awesome. It is very, very, very cool. I thought gentrification meant making beautiful, not ugly as hell. Absolutely. Stumblefoot, thank you very much for the $10, brother. I appreciate that. Here's the fund for information leading to the tree killer. We will definitely find that out. I am on that. Listen, like I said, it didn't mean anything to me, but it shocked me. Like, I've thought about this all day since I was first by there. My grandparents called me this morning and said there are a bunch of cars at Concannon's, and all they're doing is the people from the Y's parking there because that thing is the parking's all shut off because of the road, the work they're doing in there. And so I drove by there to look at that, and we drove by, and I literally had to do a double take and drive back around the block. And I was like, oh my God, they cut the trees down. It's nuts to me. It takes 50 to 100 years for a tree to mature. Oh yeah. I mean, and look, I mean, yeah, think about that. Think about this tree, this tree right here. I literally just clicked out of it. Think about this tree right here. Okay. This tree is 120, 150 years old. That tree right there. And listen, I'm not like a crazy, like, hippy dippy tree hugger. I just want the idiot mayor in Muncie and the idiot people around him to stop doing crap to the city that no one's asking for. That's my biggest issue. Oh yeah. So the Muncie Field House, the historic gymnasium was built in 1928 and dedicated on December 7th of the same year. I would say those trees were probably built sometime, were probably planted a little bit before that, you know? So absolutely nonsensical. Absolutely nonsensical. Thank you for your $10 there, Stumblefoot. David Hall saying, anyone used to cruise Broad Street? Oh, yeah, my grandmother. Well, my grandmother was mostly grandparents and my uncle did here in Muncie, but I know, I mean, I'm sure they did down there in Newcastle. And I know a lot of older folks that I know that made it down there. Absolutely. Tweety Bird says crime stoppers. Kiddock says she cannot comment, and yes, she's went out and came back in. Strange. That's strange. I don't know. Maybe cut all. I don't know. Maybe have her restart or force stop her YouTube and then come back in. I know somebody else was griping about the comments today, and I was like, I've got nothing to do with it. I don't know. Anyone watch podcasters on YouTube besides this? Hell yeah. That's what I was saying. I'll send you a list. If you're interested in other things like national stuff and other things, I'll send you a list of people that I watch, David. See if you're interested in them. Are the other trees there on the east and the south side of the field house? So as of right now, Tweety Bird, yes. As of right now, the answer to that question is they are there, and I don't see them being touched right now. It's always possible that they'll do something stupid. But as of right now, but you did see, let me show you. And I'm a little worried here because I don't know. I don't know what this is. Let me show you this. And this is what kind of worries me just a little bit. Okay. So look here. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I watch them. I watch them from time to time. So you see here where they took this out, it's highlighted, right? Well, they also have highlighted here this little cut, the corner. They have the intersection here at Weiser and Walnut highlighted, and then they have Weiser bending around here highlighted. So the trees here on the south side appear to be okay. And I think, the trees here are okay. But I guess you never know. You never know until we drive by one day and see that they're torn down. And this is Gotta Love Muncie. This is just Dan Ridenour and the whole idea of the Ridenour movement doing this kind of nonsense. It's so nuts. It's just slow down, make sure this makes sense, make sure what you're doing makes sense, because I'm not 100% sure what you're doing makes any bit of damn sense. So I just don't. I don't know. You're not twice my age. That would make you so that would make you 120. You're 20 years older than me. The smaller trees were planted when the new central was built. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta love Dan, the Dan Addicts chant. Absolutely. Gross. It's just insane to me. So I'll be on the lookout, see what's going on here, see why this is happening. And I'll try to get somebody to make some kind of a statement, because this is complete bullshit. I just don't want them touching Muncie anymore. Quit doing things like this. I don't know. All right. On, ladies and gentlemen, to the evil Indiana Economic Development Corporation. I just don't understand why these organizations that are supposed to be doing economic development are always so gross. I just don't understand why it is that they are they do what they do. It's nuts. I don't like the fact that everything is hidden. Nothing is in the open. Nothing is supposed to be discussed, and it's all secret. And I get there's things that you need to do to try to keep, businesses from, being called away or whatever. I want to bring everybody's attention to this video. This is from the Indiana State House, and this was recorded on this was Monday. This was yesterday. Okay. And David Hall, you're getting ready to see one of our representatives on here. You're getting ready to see Elizabeth Rowray. I hate her name. First of all, I don't like her name. Rowray always sounds like she's trying to make me Dutch. Elizabeth Rowray. And I'm convinced Elizabeth doesn't have anything but her own well-being and what the lining of her, the money lining her pockets look like. She is not in this for what's best for Muncie or Madison County or Delaware County. I don't believe that she is a true conservative Republican. I think she is a true selfican. She's concerned about herself. And I want you to listen to this. And this is what's so mind-boggling to me. We have 150 state elected representatives. We have 50 state senators and 100 state representatives. And only in the whole scheme of things, only 40 or 50 of them are Democrats, and the whole bleeding rest of them are Republicans. And a handful of the Democrats seem so much more like conservative Republicans than the actual Republicans. It's mind-boggling to me. I want you to listen to this guy. This guy is trying to make an amendment to make the Indiana Economic Development Corporation more transparent to the people and to the people that should be having oversight. And the Democrat is arguing for our betterment. It blows my mind. This guy should be a Republican and Elizabeth should be a Democrat. They need to switch. It's so insane to me. It's so insane to me. I want you to listen to what this gentleman says here, and then Elizabeth comes up next. We're going to listen to this all the way through. I know it's a little bit longer than what we normally listen to. It's about 8 minutes, but it's worth the entire listen. Okay? I want you to listen to this, and we'll be right back.
For amendment, recommitment, House motion, Representative Delaney.
Senate Bill 516, Madam One.
Heard the motion and a second. Representative Delaney, you recognized to present your amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I see so many lined up on the runway here, so I'll try to be careful and not have a collision. This amendment is in part in response to what we saw earlier. I learned for the first time today that apparently the idea of putting these data centers in this LEAP project in Boone County is dead. I was glad to learn that. Might have heard about it earlier if my amendment passed. That would be a good thing. I also heard that apparently the idea of piping water from Tippecanoe County is even deeper underground than it was. That's also good news, also not quite so delayed. And there's another announcement that hasn't been made, but that is quite apparent. Actually, two announcements. One is that this new governor, is not interested in the LEAP project. Apparently, he doesn't like that abbreviation or doesn't like that concept, but he's not pushing it. And the LEAP project is part of what's called, I think, an industrial development district under a bill we passed a few years back. That's another set of words that is not leaving the governor's mouth. That's a big policy decision if we're not going to do those things. And we don't have any mechanism for monitoring that. The IEDC has us choked off for information because of their obsessive, if understandable, concern with hiding every detail of a project from this body as well as from the public, so that we don't know what they're doing. We don't know what their policies are. We don't know what their goals are. They ask you to approve certain things, but that's about it. And if any other group, if Medicaid try to hide the way IEDC tries to hide, we'd be after them immediately. If NDOT tried to hide where they were building a road or where they planned to build a road or whether they believed in building roads or whether the governor supported them, we'd notice sooner or later and we'd act upon it. This is a particular agency. I think we've gone way too far with protecting them. So I've come up with an amendment that's designed to have oversight, something that we do way too little of. And I must assure you that I've had more complaints on oversight on this project than on any other project, this LEAP project and the overall activities of IEDC. it's gotten to be kind of a secret little organization. So I propose a small committee called the Oversight Committee, which would have members from the majority, members from the minority, and especially including people on the fiscal committees. And then that committee would review the following. What are the activities of this Indiana Development Corporation?
I'm trying to get it to stop buffering. Stand by.
Economic Development Corporation. What are they spending? And we would have an annual report from the governor about his vertical, as he calls it, on economic development. And he would have to tell us, what have they been doing the last 12 months? How much money have they spent all in? And are there any policy recommendations is he making? I'd like to hear from the governor that we're done with these IDDs. I remember being promised they were going to sprout up all over the state like corn. We were going to have an IDDD everywhere. We got one. It turned out bad.
He's
Okay,
talking about the
sorry.
LEAP project.
We need to know. Is it a dead idea or is it a live idea? So I'd ask you to vote for this. I see no threat to anybody in this, no harm to anybody, and not much of a workload, just transmission of basic fundamental information about our economic development policy and about our budget. So I'd ask you to help the governor make clear to us what his economic policy is. Thank you.
And this is, folks, now, okay. And so all he's asking for, ladies and gentlemen, all he's asking for is some understanding on whether or not the governor is working on this LEAP, understanding where the governor's mind is on this project and other projects. Because if everybody remembers this LEAP project that was taking water, well, they wanted to take all this water from Lafayette area, Tippecanoe County, and transport it down to Lebanon and do all this craziness. Okay, that was all this crazy idea of Eric Holcomb. And what he's saying is, and I will agree with him, I've not heard Braun saying anything about it. Braun doesn't seem to be interested. And it kind of seems to be dead in the water, no pun intended. Okay, and it just seems like a really weird situation now. Well, what he's asking is for a little bit more transparency for both the citizens and the legislature when it comes to the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, because as we've heard John Schrock talk about, and we've heard others talk about, and we've told you, these places are shady. When Indiana's Economic Development Corporation is dealing with people, and we've got offices all over the world, and we are funding money to them, and we can't ask them, what is this money for? What is it funding? What are we doing? What are we seeing as good response from this? No, we just can't get any of that information. To hell with that. And, you know, Democrat Representative Ed Delaney, man, I tell you, amazing. This is the man that went after Diego Morales, if you recall. He went after Diego Morales in the very first budget session. I like Delaney.
Is there further discussion?
But now what we want to hear is what we hear now. Now what's going to happen?
Representative Rowray, speak on the amendment.
Listen to this.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So I do economic development on a daily.
She comes up all hot and going crazy with her panties in a bunch. And I want to know, man, we need to send her packing from state government.
Daily basis. It's my day job. Every single person in this body can go to IEDC on
That's a problem. To me, that's a problem. She should not be a state representative and doing economic development from a day job. That shouldn't be. That shouldn't be. You following how much money she's wanting from Delaware County? Are you following how much money she's wanting from the Redevelopment Commission?
Any given day and sign a non-disclosure form, and they will tell you everything that you're being asked to do in this amendment.
Okay, so any one of these 100 state representatives could walk their ass into the Indiana Economic Development Corporation and sign a non-disclosure. What? Why? Why not just walk in there and be like, we're funding you. So if you don't tell us, we're going to quit funding you.
As an economic developer, if my good friend Bob Baining in his district has a company that's looking to locate in his district, I'm not going to go to the IEDC and ask for that non-disclosure form because I do that on a daily basis and it wouldn't be fair. Companies that are looking to locate in the United States use an intermediary called a site selector. The site selectors will reach out to the different states and say, hey, this company needs a rail spur. This company needs to be within 20 minutes of a major highway. This is their product, and they send it out to these states. Which states meet the criteria? They land in the individual states. IEDC is the body that regulates all incoming potential businesses into our state. IEDC has a list across the state of sites and buildings that are already ready to go. They know every single site in your county that would be available for a shovel ready, which means it's ready to go. All the utilities are there. They know all of the buildings that are available in your community. They've already done the due diligence on behalf of that site selector. The site selector will then come in and they will say, hey, Elizabeth, we're coming into Madison County. We're coming into Delaware County. We want to see this building on this site. What they don't, the site selector will then come in and they will say, hey, Elizabeth, we're coming into Madison County. We're coming into Delaware County. We want to see this building on this site. What they don't want is all of the surrounding counties to then know they're looking at my site because they don't want you all to call them because they've already worked through their due diligence and narrowed down the sites that they're interested in seeing. That's how the process works for site selection around the globe. There are site selectors around the globe. This amendment does something that you are already able to see and hear. Any one of you can go to IEDC.
The problem here, though, folks, the problem here is Ed Delaney is asking for transparency for the citizens. So, Miss Rowray, can I go in and ask them? Are they going to tell me what's going on?
See tomorrow, sign the non-disclosure form, and they will tell you all of the projects that are being contemplated in the state of Indiana. This amendment is not necessary. I ask that you defeat it.
Further discussion, Representative Lopez to speak on the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thanks, ladies and gentlemen here in the House. So in addition to Representative Rowray's comments, what I would say is we worked really hard on 516 to get to the point where we were balancing the transparency that we all know is needed and the ability for IEDC and our other economic development apparatus, our leaders, to continue to make the investments that they've been making for the better part of the last 20 years since Governor Daniels worked with this body to put those things in place. And there are, respectfully to Representative Delaney,
Come on, damn it.
and
Just another minute.
Respectfully to Representative Delaney, there are, of course, he knows there are oversight mechanisms already. The IDC has a board, has public board meetings that are open to the public. The State Budget Committee, of course, has oversight, and then this body has oversight when we appropriate dollars and have them come and present their vision and present their programs. So there is oversight, and I think obviously we need to continue to work towards greater and
Not
greater
nearly
accountability.
enough. There's not nearly enough. There is not nearly enough oversight when it comes to the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. It's ridiculous that they would say that. All right, enough of that. The bottom line is, why is it that Rowray and her cohort there are fighting so hard against this bit of transparency? It's so gross. So gross. Yeah. Globalists are in control of Indiana's economic development. That's very, very, very true. Absolutely. That's there's no question. The legislators leave us in the dark all of the time. So what are they bitching about? By a spotlight, shit. Oh yeah. That's as far as recycling bills. That's something that happens. Basically, what goes on is there are these nationwide lobbying firms and these groups that just churn out all of this legislation and farm it out to bills. That's how J.D. Prescott gets most of the bills he works. It's not something that Prescott's coming up from. It's certainly not something that people in his area are asking him to do. He simply doesn't talk to people in his area. So what Prescott does is Prescott farms out his legislation and gets them from Utah or Arizona or New Mexico or California. Then he gives it to the legal team of the Indiana General Assembly, and they then make it fit the parameters of Indiana, and then they give that to him, and he's like, look, this is my bill. And it happens. It's not just Prescott, it's all of them. They all do that. And it's really, really, really bad. Really bad. So I just thought that was an interesting little deal. I didn't know that. I'm very thankful for the person who sent me that video. I did not watch the county's, I did not watch the feed from the State House on Monday. And so I did not know that was going. So I'm glad somebody was awake and somebody was doing that and sent that to me. So for you out there that know who you are, thank you for doing that. Somebody I won't burn, but just absolutely crazy that's the situation there. I will continue to follow that. I will. I tagged Rowray in a comment, and then I made a post and tweeted at her, letting her know that I don't truly respect her, and I want her gone as an elected official. I don't think that she is a good elected official. I don't think that she has been a good elected official, and I think that she needs to be gone soon. So that's that. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on to Dun dun dun. Dustin Clark's grants. Or I guess moreover what they're trying to pass for his grants. So I submitted a record request all the way back. When did I first submit it? February? Maybe the end of January? January or February, I submitted a request looking for all of the grants that Dustin Clark has been involved with. And I wanted the number of those grants that were successful and the number of those grants that were not successful. And I wanted to see, all of the paperwork in reference to this, everything that would be releasable. And they've drug their feet. I want to say it's taken at least, let me see if I have it. Let me see if I have the actual date down. Let me go back here and see if I can find it, just to be on the safe side. Okay. Okay, there's March 1st. Let's see. Okay, so as far back as 3/1/25, where are we on the record request for Clark's grant work? All of it from the start through now. All of the grants he's applied for and did not win, and then of course the ones he has been awarded. Can we get a timeline for completion? And let's see here. I'm looking through here. So that's the first. So, okay. So it would have been sometime in the, oh. It looks like I sent it on the 30th of January. Thursday, the 30th of January is when I sent this. Okay. I want you to see this list they sent me. This is the list that I received after all of this time waiting for Dustin to get all of his documents put together. Now let me blow this up so you can see it. All right. Project name, amount, status. They didn't bother putting the dates on here. Okay. So NUSA national finalist awarded. Beach Grove Pond BBF. 2,500 awarded. Digital equipment. Well, I mean, what does that mean? Digital equipment grant? $5,000 awarded. Independence Day grant, $30,000 awarded. American Water Environmental Grant, $4,500 awarded. Com Foundation Cooley, $25,516 awarded. MedStat 500 vehicles, $153,260 awarded. MFD 5K Verucide sanitizer, 5,000 awarded. Trail 3 DNR ITP, 266,515.12. Review land expansion LFC 15,000. CEP 1,000 trees in 1,000 days, $30,000 awarded. CEP 1,000 trees in 1,000 days, 30,000 awarded. Then that again, 30,000. That again, 40,000. Forestry UCFIRA, 2 million awarded. LWCF Till Pond, and this was the 500,000. Okay, the EECBG, 127,260. MFD Emergency Supplies Grant, 5,000. Solar for All, 6 million waiting. 2 million ARP restaurants. 2 million distributed. Now, I would like to know what that, I mean, there's several of these I'd like to know, but I'll point them out here in a minute. Okay, Cook Ed Center, 10,000 not awarded. CPRG, 7,105,276.98 not awarded. CCFAI, 35,000 postponed. Brownfields EPA, 500,000 postponed. NEPA postponed. NOMO right of way postponed. Clean Heavy Vehicles Grant postponed. Welcome City postponed. Ukrainian resettlement. The hell is this? Postponed. Transportation Grant SS4A researching. In Next Level Grant researching. Empowering Energy Partnerships EPI 500,000 researching. DOE SCEP Seasite researching. NLC Local Infrastructure Hub Initiative researching. MIRA researching. VF Grants Volkswagen Experimental researching. BBF Phase 3, 40,000 submitted. CCF Mentorship, 40,000 submitted. The Ready Lily Blight Elimination Grant, $5 million. And the Muncie Delaware County Ready 2.0, $8.1 million. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm almost certain that there are some of these that he didn't have anything to do with. I'm pretty certain that I'm pretty certain that there are listings on here that he just got tired of me asking for, and he quickly threw a bunch of shit together. There are no dates. I want the paperwork. I want the copies of the grant application. He has not fulfilled the ask for this paperwork. And there is a reason why. Absolutely a reason why. Okay, let me go back down here and read some of your comments. That's crazy, Stumblefoot, that wouldn't let you read that. Wouldn't let you write that. Did we win the grant to cover the bubble gum machines? Okay. He's still on the tree deal. Is this Dustin's claim to fame? Yeah, I think so. What is MFD 500? Let's go back up and look at that. FD. Are you talking about the MedStat 500 vehicles, Stumblefoot? See, I mean, it's just this doesn't make... This is just him throwing a bunch of shit on a paper. Because I'll be honest, I don't think he was involved with the Ready grants. I don't think that he was involved with the Eli Lilly blight elimination grant. I don't think he was involved with the Muncie Delaware County Ready 2.0. I don't think that he was anyway involved with the 2 million ARP restaurants. I don't think he was involved with that. I just think that, again, this is something that they have done to try to hide and to try to shut me up. It is not going to work. I'm going to be looking into this further and getting more. I've already sent some communications back, but because of last week being spring break and this week being spring break for others, I think it's going to be next week before I hear anything, which is fine. But we need to get to the bottom of what Dustin is actually doing here versus what other department heads are doing, what's going on. So I'll be looking into this. This is very disappointing. The fact that I asked for this information and Ridenauer saw this list and he allowed for this list to go out, that is extremely upsetting. That Ridenauer didn't care anymore. Look, we know why. We know why, right? We know why. Where did it say? Ah, I see. I see you. I see it. I see it. Hold on. I get it. Stand by. I'm getting important. Stand by 1 second. Okay. Sorry. Okay, I'm looking here. I'm going down through the. Yeah, I don't believe he's written this much. I simply just Tweety Bird, I don't know. I don't understand. So, I mean, if you look at this, I just really, this is a bunch of nonsense. Unless there's something that goes along with this and there's information, this is just a bunch of nonsense, honestly. And so, yeah, I see the brownfields there. Like basically, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait. I got to wait till Amber gets back. I'm going to fill out an email and send it to Dan, Dustin, and Amber and tell them that this is complete bullshit, that this is not responsive to my request. And I'm going to give them 2 weeks to fix this. And if not, I'll file the complaint with the public access counselor, and that'll be that. That'll be that. So this is there's there's definitely a missing equation, 100%. That's the thing. Stumblefoot's asking, how many hours would it take to write all those grants compared to the hours worked? Any experienced grant writers? No, we need you. I know someone that's not watching that is experienced. What is this? City grants list looks like a comprehensive listing of grants that have been processed during several years of right now administration. Bilbrey, you're right. This is not exclusively Clark's work. Yeah, I'm sure that this is everything, like a list of everything that's happened under the right now administration. But I'm pretty certain, and listen, I'm telling you right now, if I'm wrong, I'll apologize to him and I'll come back and I'll eat every bit of this. But I am almost certain that he has not worked on the READY grants. The READY and the READY 2.0. I don't believe it. I do not believe it. You know? You know, and then some of this clean heavy vehicles grants, mow right of way, NEPA. What the hell is NEPA? Let's Google it. National Environmental Policy Act, NEPA, is a U.S. environmental law enacted in 1969 that requires federal agencies to consider the environmental impacts of their proposed actions, prompting environmental protections and public engagement. Grant. NEPA. Grants. Okay. Interesting. So it looks like it's kind of the U.S. Department of Transportation Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration. I just, for the life of me, Dustin knew what he was doing. And the fact that Dan allowed this, honestly, I'm upset with all of them. The fact that they published this to me as a comprehensive list, because I asked for, I want to see the documentation that he wrote up. I want to see examples of his work. That's what I'm requesting. I want to see examples of what he has put together. Look. You know, he's probably did these ones that were not awarded or that were postponed or whatever, you know. I'm just shocked when I look at this. This is not a comprehensive list. So I'll be digging into this more and I'll let you guys know. I got this on Monday and I was like, because last night I was like, I'm going to go live and talk about this. But I thought, you know, I was so pissed off. I was like, it's not a list. And I was looking and I knew I wasn't going to be able to get anything. I won't be able to get any more on this until the 1st of next week. So I'll put a pin in this and we will be back to talk about this, obviously, more in the future because it's wild. Okay. The last thing that I want to mention before we roll is Ed Carroll. For those of you that are watching, and you're interested in the whole Ed Carroll and the whole Chad Malacote ordeal, I promise you, we are getting closer. We are getting closer on the day of the delivery for the shoe to drop on Mr. Carroll and Mr. Malacote. The shoe is coming down, and it's going to come down on them hard. Well, I'm just letting you know it's going to be this week. It's going to be this week. So I'm just letting you know, if you're interested, you want to subscribe, you want to click the bell, you want to keep tuning back in, because it's going to be this week. And we'll post it on social media like the day of. So sometime during the day of, when we're going to talk about the big Ed Carroll story, it will be posted. I'm getting people that are asking me like daily, hey, are you going to talk about Ed Carroll today? Hey, you're going to talk about... It's taking some time because I want to get it right. But I will post it on social media, and you'll know. Just subscribe and you'll know. You subscribe to the channel and you ring the bell. If you've already done that, you will know ahead of time. So I'll keep you posted on that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us this evening. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for everything last week. Obviously, please help share the show with everyone you know. Help spread the word. We've got a lot to talk about. We've talked about a lot. We've still got lots more to go. You guys have been fantastic. God bless each and every one of you. Have a wonderful Wednesday. We'll be back tomorrow night, God willing. We've got a big show planned for that as well. So we will see you all tomorrow night, Wednesday, April 2nd. And we'll be back here at 9 p.m. as always. Hit the like on your way out. Don't leave us hanging, please. Hit the thumb. Give us a little bit of love. Again, thanks to Stumblefoot for his $10 donation. We will put that to good use, and we'll let you guys go. Have a good evening. Have a good Wednesday, and we'll see you tomorrow night. God bless. Goodbye.